Justin Humphres' informative speech. Let's go back to 1995. What were you doing? Many of us were in classrooms learning, while others might have been at work or at home taking care of kids. April 19th, 1995 is a day that will go down in history forever. It was the day of the Oklahoma City bombing. I want to talk about three specific points. First, the events of the bombing, the suspect, and the remembrance of the bombing. Now I want to start off informing you about the events of the Oklahoma City bombing. April 19th, 1995 was a typical day at the Alfred P. Murrah Federal Building. Kids were being dropped off for the daycare inside, while people were coming to work and preparing for a regular day of work. At 9:01 a.m., the lives of the people in Oklahoma City changed forever. A bomb exploded across the street in a Ryder truck. The bomb was made of ammonium nitrate, which is regular fertilizer, and nitromethane, which is motor racing fuel, and the bomb weighed approximately 5,000 pounds. At 9:03 a.m., the front of the Federal Building was totally demolished. The effects of the bombing were horrifying. 500 people were injured, while 168 were killed, and that included 19 children. More than 300 buildings were damaged. The act of terrorism was the worst until September 11, 2001, and the attack of the World Trade Center. The whole nation was in mourning. People were rushing to the Federal Building to sort through the rubble. People were going to hospitals to donate blood, while prayer services were being held all across America to pray for the victims. On May 23, 1995, the rest of the Alfred P. Murrah Federal Building was brought down. Now that I've told you about the bombing itself, I'd like to talk about the suspect. 90 minutes after the bombing, Timothy McVeigh was pulled over driving a vehicle with an expired license, and also a gun that was unregistered. With an investigation underway, the links were found between McVeigh and the bombing. On May 8, 1995, Timothy McVeigh was found out to be a member of the Patriots. Ironically, April 19th was also Patriots Day and the date in which federal agents raided a religious sect in Waco, Texas 2 years prior. McVeigh was involved in the event of Waco, Texas. The following information was found in an article entitled "The Oklahoma City Bombing" in the Washington Post, and it just has a few important dates. October 26th of 1996, the judge announced the trial for Timothy McVeigh. April 1st, 1997, Timothy McVeigh's trial began. And June 3rd, 1997, juries convicted Timothy McVeigh on 11 counts of murder. On August 5th, 1997, McVeigh received the death penalty. It wasn't until March 30th, 2001 that McVeigh admitted for the first time of being responsible for the Oklahoma City bombing. On June 11th, 2001, Timothy McVeigh was executed in Indiana, marking the first execution since 1963. Now that we have talked about the suspect of the Oklahoma City bombing, I want to talk about the remembrance. April 19, 2005 marked the 10th anniversary of the bombing of the Alfred P. Murrah Federal Building. There was a memorial built in place of it. The memorial includes a large reflecting pool and two large arched doorways. One arc is inscribed with 9:01 a.m., while the other 9:03 a.m., which represents the time of the explosion. The reflecting pool in between represents the times between the explosions. There are also 168 bronze and glass chairs located in the memorial. These represent the 168 people who were killed. The smaller chairs represent the children that were killed, while the larger ones represent the adults. During the week of April 17th through the 24th of 2005 was known as National Week of Hope. Ceremonies were held at the Oklahoma City National Memorial during this week. The services began at 9:02. Like the explosion, there were 168 seconds of silence for each person killed. Names of the victims were read aloud by children. A couple of the special guests that were there were Dick Cheney and Bill Clinton. In conclusion, I hope that I have brought back some of the memories of the Oklahoma City bombing and that you may have forgotten. I spoke about the Oklahoma City bombing, the suspects and the trials of them, and the remembrance of the bombing. I hope that you go on with your life, that you always remember the challenges that the people of Oklahoma City were dealt with.